My name's Scott Shapiro. I run product marketing for OneNote. I've been on the team for about 3 years now. And I'm joined by Liz Scoble from the product management team, who's been on the team for 4 years. So with our little OneNote world, we've been around a bit. We've been through a few iterations, and we are so excited to join you today to talk about how we can move forwards. And I gotta just say, from back home in Redmond, I love this enthusiasm. I'm giving 5 presentations this week, and this is by far the largest one. So thank you for those that love OneNote, and thank you for those that are excited to learn a bit more about it. So with that in mind, can I get by a show of hands, who here already loves OneNote and uses it all the time? Wow. All right, let's give it up for all of you. Let's give a quick clap. I love this. This is so exciting. One of you can probably come up and demo with us instead next time. Who here uses it every now and then, kind of likes it, but not every day? Okay, that's good too. Good to hear that. And all right, don't be shy. Who's never used OneNote before, maybe likes the color purple, or a teammate said, you gotta learn about this thing? Let's give it up for them. These are gonna be our new friends. Awesome, well thank you so much everyone. With that, let's dive in together. So what are we gonna walk through? We're gonna first talk about what is OneNote. Get those new friends of ours a little more familiar with the process, an idea of what they can do. And once we kind of ground you in what OneNote is, we'll talk a bit about when do you want to use it and how to get started. Followed by that, we're going to take a look back at our past year together and think through all the great product improvements we've been bringing to all of you across different devices, and then our brand new user experience we rolled out just a few months ago. Afterwards, we're going to take a look forwards together, and finally, I'm going to stop speaking, and we're going to take a look at that product together, and Liz is going to put together an awesome demo for everyone. All right, so that's our goals for today. We want all of you to walk out here, if you're a lover of OneNote, hopefully learning something new, having a new way to maybe convince a teammate to join you in a collaborative notebook. Or if you're brand new, we hope you become what we always call a OneNote Avenger, and you get excited day by day to conquer what you can do with this notebook and what you're able to do once you have it by your side. All right. So what is OneNote? I like to think back to high school. I had that physical binder. I dropped in between each session to my locker. I had to go from the math notebook in the morning to the science in the afternoon. I had tabs, I had pages. It was all right there, unless it wasn't, unless that piece of paper ripped, or I had no time to get to my locker. Now think about that from the analog world, and now we're in a digital experience. This is your digital notebook. That old, dusty binder you might have had in your locker is now living and breathing with you on every device in a digital environment. So what do we want to do for you with OneNote? The first thing is all around making your life easier. You have so many meetings you probably go to during the day, so many emails you need to triage, and just general things you need to remember and kind of offload. Our goal is to help simplify all of that for you, make it easier to get organized, and really be sure where each note was taken so that you can get towards the idea and the project you're actually trying to work on instead of wasting your cognitive load trying to think, where did I write this thing down? What was it that Jane said to me in that meeting? That's how we help you to simplify and organize. Next, we really think a lot about how you can work the way you want. Some people love to type. Others love to write things out in long form, hand draw and sketch different projects they're working on, if they're an architect maybe, for example. And even more than that, it's also great to bring in content from the web. You clip that content. And no matter the way you choose to work, OneNote can help you. Once you drop that content in, typed, or a PowerPoint slide, or an internet clipping, you can search for it and you can find it. Again, focusing on what you need, which is the content, not the cognitive load of finding that little bullet you wrote months ago, or maybe even just that morning in a meeting. And the last thing I like to think about in the versatile phase is if you're a filer or a piler. To me, a filer is that person that uses every single trick of the trade to stay super organized. They're drilling in between notebook to tab to page to subpage, and that's awesome. But some people are a little more like me. They're what I call a piler. All those great ways we talked about to get content into the notebook, they just drop it in. They're throwing in that Outlook email from earlier. They're clipping something from the web. And they don't even want to pay attention to where they put it. But that's OK, because with our powerful search, we go across all of those mediums, and you can always find what you're looking for. And then finally, I've been talking a bit about how I approach OneNote as a person. Well, what happens when you want to really bring it to the next level? Those meeting notes I referenced a moment ago, a lot of other people were in that meeting probably, right? People were working on that project with you. Well, you can collaborate. You can really work together with OneNote by co-authoring across all different devices and have it syncing for you consistently and able to really see what other people are dropping in. You can share meeting notes. At a conference like this, I've even seen different people say, hey, my entire company can't make it here, of course, but if I put together this notebook, right here in this session, if I'm taking notes, somebody back in the home office, maybe in Indianapolis, can see what I'm writing as I go. They can even write down a question, and you'll get that synced up, and then you can represent them and ask myself and Liz at the end. So that's how you can collaborate just like that in real time. So that's a sense of what is OneNote. Well, when should you use it? It's so easy to look at that stock note-taking app on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, and just say, that's enough. I'm writing some things down. Even Microsoft Word, I'm writing down things in this document here, and I'm going to save it. But what happens when life gets a little more complex? What happens when you take on an all-new job, or you're a manager for the first time, and you have to work on not just maybe your own projects, but feel responsible for suddenly 5 direct reports, and you need to keep track of what's happening there? That simple piece of paper you might write things down on, or that simple note-taking app on your phone that comes with it, it's going to be overwhelmed. And if that's overwhelmed, there's a good chance you're going to feel overwhelmed. So we think a lot about life's moments, the complex portions of your life across schooling if you're a student, in your professional sense, as all of us are here in the work world, or at home. Maybe you're planning your wedding. You have a medical crisis that happens suddenly. These are the times when it's opportune to say, okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. How can I simplify my life? How can I organize it? I don't have time to learn all different processes. I want to just get up and running, and I want to share that with my significant other. I want to share that with those new direct reports. Well, that's what OneNote is for. You get started sometimes in the hard moments, and just like that, you're going to feel comfortable, and we'll have your back so you can focus on the bigger problem at hand. How do you get your team to your big goal together? How do you move forwards in that vision? And just like that, it'll start to permeate, and you'll feel comfortable using it in all different ways, small and large. And that's why we think about life moments are the best time to get started with OneNote if you're one of our newer friends and hopefully newest fans and a part of the family coming out of this session. There's always a troubling time, and we're here to help. Let's simplify that time together. So that's a bit of our background. What is OneNote? When do you get started with the product? And that's cool. Hopefully, you now have a little bit of an idea, if you're a power user, when you go back to your team, how can you convince them to collaborate with you for the first time, get them onto Microsoft's best-kept secret, which is something I'm trying to change, to be clear. I'm sick of it being a secret. We have an army of 1,000 people in this room right here. Let's make it known together. So with that in mind, I want to take a step now towards the product. Now that you've got a bit of a sense of what it is, how to get started, well, what have we been doing for the past year or so since we saw you at last year's Ignite? And since you've been hopefully finding out things from talking to your different teammates, social media, and whatnot. We break it down into 2 big chunks, what we've been looking at and what we've been building. Foundational improvements, as well as some of our future investments we'll talk about here today. On the foundation, we're really selling that one short. We have completely redesigned the user experience for OneNote, and we're going to walk through why we did that and how it's going to help you. Next, I want to talk to you about OneNote for Windows 10, the newest part of the OneNote family, and how we've been taking great steps forwards to make it ready to go and the best way to use OneNote with Windows. And then finally, we'll talk about some of our future investments and a bit of where we're going and how we're going to make this better together as part of the broad Windows and Office family. So let's talk first about redesigning OneNote. We got to have a good reason to do it, right? A lot of you love this product. So we can't just make things change for no apparent reason. So what do? We start running pilots. We start looking at product telemetry. We start talking to thousands of you to say, what do we keep? What do we get rid of? And how do we make it better? The first area we focused on was improving navigation. Next, We really wanted to help with accessibility so everyone could use this product to enable them to do more in their work and personal life. And finally, we are across so many devices, it's time we looked and felt the same across all of them. So let's dive in and see what that all really means for you. So what you're looking at right here is easier navigation. In the past with OneNote, you have the tabs on the top, the pages on the right side. There's a lot of movement. You've got to really move that mouse, move your eyes to find what you're looking for. And that's not what you want. That's not what we want for you. So now we've created a collapsible tree on the left-hand side with 3 panes. Easy to follow. You have your notebooks on the outside, and then you keep drilling in to sections, and then finally to pages, and then you've got your whole canvas there. And I have a feeling a lot of you right now are going, whoa, that's pretty cool. I like that. But I feel like those are going to get in my way a bit. I want to just focus on the canvas. Well, that's fine. You're in control. OneNote's about personalization. You're able to collapse those navigational panes and have all 3 there if you like to see everything available to you, 2 if you want sections and pages, and then even just here, down to the 1 that you see right now. So it's easy to find your content and focus the way you like to. Navigate in an easier way. The next thing we focused on was accessibility. Our CEO, Satya Nadella, he has said to all of us and instilled in this culture, accessibility is not a bolt-on. We don't build it after the fact. We don't wait until someone complains or is upset for reasonable reasons. No. When we start in ground 1, we make sure as many people as possible that have as many different needs are able to use this product. And a beautiful thing happens in that moment. People that in the past felt like technology wasn't working for them, wasn't available to them, is now completely appropriate and easy for them to work with. And they don't have to feel like, how do I get my IT department to install something new? How do I get access to some of these tools? Instead, it's built straight in. And what we've done is work towards creating a product that works great for those that have mobility impairments or visual impairments that use things like screen reader. And what you're seeing right now is a live demo of the product and how to use it with just keyboard shortcuts, having moved from your notebooks all the way to your pages just by using the keyboard. And at the same time, it can read that aloud to you with a screen reader. Again, it's built straight into the product. So some people that love shortcuts can just use it that way. But those that need it for different impairments have access to it without having to think twice. And the third big thing is around consistency across devices. Quick show of hands. Who uses OneNote on more than one device? Yeah, that's almost every single one of you. It's not fun when you start on your laptop and then you go to your phone and you have to kind of reimagine and remember where that thing was. What does a tab look like? What does this command look like, depending on where I am? So now we've brought a consistent look and feel to the entire suite of Office apps, or excuse me, OneNote apps on different platforms. And what that means is you as an individual have the ability to easily move from laptop to phone, or if you're working with a teammate and they use a MacBook but you use a Windows 10 device, you can still tell them how to get started. You can tell them where that button is to coach them up. And that's why we redesigned OneNote. Easier navigation, improved accessibility, and consistency across devices, really helping people to get started with the product more easily, and if you're a power user or familiar already, keep on moving forwards. But we know we can always improve, so just keep on giving us that feedback. This is a process we go into together, but we rolled it out in May, and we're really proud to say ratings have been great, one-to-one feedback has been strong, and we're so excited, if you haven't tried it yet, for you to give it a shot. OneNote for Windows 10. I'll admit something. We rolled this out a couple years ago. We heard some feedback that this doesn't feel that powerful. I don't really know that this is the right product for me anymore. I thought I loved OneNote. But we took that to heart and we realized, if people aren't feeling they can do everything they need to do in OneNote, it's probably us, not you. So what did we do here again? We did extensive testing using our product telemetry and customer pilots to understand, what do you like to do in the rest of the Office suite? Shockingly to some people, OneNote's been around for about 14 years now. Hard to believe sometimes. Well, what does that mean? We've created tons of awesome features, some unexpected features that are loved by the few, which is great too. But you can't keep bringing every single aspect forwards. Instead, you bring together what your audience, your users, and your fans tell you they really want. So what have we done in just the past 12 months? We've added 100 new features. Can you even list 100 features off the top of your head? I can't. You can probably feel pretty confident that one feature that in the past you're like, I don't know if OneNote for Windows has that yet. It's probably got it now. That's a lot of stuff we've brought to you. And unfortunately, I don't have 2 hours. I've only got about 10 more minutes before I hand it over to my teammate here. So I'm only going to be able to walk through some of the big buckets of what we focused on out of those 100 new features. The first big area I want to tell you about is saving time. And we're going to demo some of these features for you as we get towards the work with Liz, but I want to hit on a few first. Well, how do we save you time? I would bet just about every one of you uses Outlook. You go to meetings. You're in them all day sometimes, it feels like. Well, now when you go to take those notes from the meetings, you can actually just open up OneNote and pull in the meeting details. Know who's going to be in that meeting with you, and get a sense of the agenda somebody sent out in advance, saving you time. What happens when you actually start collaborating with other people, like we talked about before? A lot of what they put in is going to be great and it's going to help you, but some of it's going to be a little finicky. You're going to feel like, that's not exactly the note I would have taken there. You're slowing down the progress of what I want, or I just want to check out what we had back on Monday instead of Friday. We have version history control now. You can revert a page back, and you can find that earlier note. And then finally, you can actually have multiple windows open to have 2 different notebooks going at the same time. Maybe you have your personal notebook on the right, and then you have the big team notebook on the left as you're on that call with teams, so you can really take track of the notes you need and the broader context of that project. After that, and that idea of versatility, we want to help you be creative. Not everybody likes to type anymore, and that's cool. Some people like to also ink, maybe also while typing you go back and forth. Well, now we have customizable pens. You can put together your favorite pens, highlighters, with special colors, and it will always be there. You have as many as you want for different projects and different tasks that you like to do. And then we have cool ink effects. We've brought in all new colors. I always like to use the rainbow effect or one of our glitter pens when I know I'm about to do a hard task. It sounds ridiculous, right? But if a project is hard, it gets a little more fun when you get to do it in some goofy ink. And that's the ink effect that you can use. And then finally, this one's really cool. So Liz is going to demo it later, so I won't focus on it too much. But you can actually now solve and graph math equations. And that one's better to see live, so I'm going to just hold tight for Liz on that one. So what's next? How can you get assistance inside of the product if you have different needs, like that accessibility we were talking about before? Or you want to just pull in some more internet or some information from the web, really tap into that broader knowledge base that's out there. With learning tools, it's our ability to help others out that have learning differences. They have reading impairments in some cases, like dyslexia or dysgraphia. And now we can actually go ahead and help them read in a much easier way. Next, we have Researcher, where you can pull in content from the web as you're building out a document for yourself and you want to find information on a topic that you're working on. And then finally, Tell Me. Those 100 new features we added, you might not find them all on your own. Just tell us what you want to do, and the app will show you the feature. So that's a bit of the product. That's some of the 100 new features we've added for you. And now let's talk a little bit about future investments. My engineering team has required me to say this statement. I cannot promise all of these will be built or when they will be built, but this is what we're thinking about. And this is what I'm encouraging them to build and what they want to build. But the really cool thing about these types of conversations and this type of product, you shape the future with us. You tell us what you want us to build. So I'm going to give you a glimpse of what we're thinking about, and then you're going to tell us, are we on the right track or not? So what are we trying to do? Well, we think OneNote is going to be better together with the rest of the Windows and Office ecosystem. OneNote's pretty powerful. We've got some basic integrations already, like we mentioned before, with Outlook. But take a look across this spectrum here. And what are you going to notice? Other than the fact that all of our logos seem to be blue for some reason. What you're going to notice are all different ways to work with the product in the future that we're considering and investing in now. On the bottom left, we see Cortana. How cool would it be to invite Cortana into your notebook? That project you were referencing before, that task you assigned for yourself, or that restaurant you want to go to. What if Cortana could help you schedule that meeting? Or pull up a card inside of it so you can get more context and make it more than just a simple word? Be pretty cool. What about Teams? We've heard a stat through research that people over the past 5 years have said they are on 2 times as many teams as they've ever been in their life before. So that means you got to collaborate. You got to work together. Well, OneNote's got some integration with Teams now, but we're trying to move in a direction where you can actually chat based on the page you're on, for example, as well as handle notifications inside of Teams to know, hey, Liz and I are working on a notebook. She made a change. I'll get a notification inside of Teams, and we can move forwards there. Outlook, some awesome meeting notes we were talking about before, deeper integrations with emails as well. And then one of our newest apps to the family, Microsoft To Do. It'd be pretty cool to actually have clear tasks that are more actionable, that are syncing back and forth from your big notebook like OneNote to your smaller, easier to focus on, just the tasks in To Do. And then finally, we're looking at Edge, and how can we bring together relevant notes depending on what page you're going to and what you're thinking about at each time. How do you draw on top of that web page with notes and sync it back into OneNote? And that's what we're thinking a lot about, being better together. If you like this, if you don't like this, if you have totally different ideas, please go to onenote.uservoice.com and send us your suggestions. And that's the best way we can get your feedback. You upvote it, we will do our best to build it. All right, that is enough of me talking. Let's bring up Liz here to walk us through how to actually use the product and some cool new things.
Cool, thanks, Scott. And I just want to echo your point about user voice. Just as a product manager on the team, honestly, like probably once, twice a week, I'm looking at the user voice for, I'm the PM for OneNote for Apple, so I'm looking at the user voice for Mac and iOS, looking at those top feature requests, and honestly, it really informs what we build for the product. So if you guys have a feature request or just want to check out to see what other people are interested in, definitely go to user voice, add your voice there, and when we complete features, we'll actually email you to let you know that they're there, so you can go and check it out and give us feedback. So like many of you, you probably start your day with a phone, right? Wake up, commuting to work, not pulling out my laptop. I'm starting on my phone, and I happen to have an iPhone, like probably many of you as well. So, oh, you got it. So, I'll start my day in OneNote. So, I'm on the bus. I like to think of top of mind. So, I'll go to my personal notebook that I can have side by side with my work notebook in OneNote, go into my quick notes, and start adding things to my to-do list. And as Scott mentioned, right now, these are tasks that are in OneNote, but you can maybe see an integration with to-do or other tasks that you have throughout your Microsoft ecosystem. So I need to book my flights to my trip to Boston. Check that one off. I already did it. But next, I have to prepare for my meeting. And now, I'll always refer to this page when I need to know what kinds of things I need to get done. One other thing that's on the top of my mind today is that it's my sister's birthday tomorrow, so I need to call the bakery to order a birthday cake. Now, I was on the phone with someone earlier, and I took a note by hand. Now, I'm sure many of you do this too. I try to keep all my notes in OneNote, but sometimes, you just have to write something down. But OneNote makes it really easy to capture that and actually makes it better. So, go into OneNote, take a picture, got this note here. So I'll snap that. That looks like a normal photo, right? But I can actually change, oh no, it caught the adapter. Live demos, right? So it will actually recognize the edges of the image as long as you don't have an adapter in the way. And it will clean up that document for you. So it makes it really easy, add it to my notes. And you may be saying, OK, well, how is that any different than taking a picture, putting it in my phone, whatever? OneNote will actually read through the handwriting in your image so that you can search on it later. So that I don't even need to remember where I put this picture in OneNote, because I can just search for bakery, and it will pull up this page with bakery highlighted, and I'll be able to find that phone number really easily. So I don't need to worry about this piece of paper that might fall out of my pocket, or I'll put it through the wash or anything like that. I know that my notes are safe in OneNote. And I'll show this handwriting recognition feature later. So my commute's done. I'm at work, turn my phone off, and I'll go to my Surface over here. Oh, it recognizes me. So I've got this big meeting today. I'm going to do a little prep work for it before the meeting happens. So this probably looks pretty familiar, right? PowerPoint. These are the slides that I'm preparing for the meeting. But I want to just review them before, maybe take a couple notes, action items that I really want to hit hard, and points that I want to make during the meeting. So what you can do now is I can actually print these slides directly to OneNote. So I'll hit print, and then OneNote, start flashing. It'll ask me where I want to put this section. So I'm going to put it in, or where I want to put this page. I'm going to put it in my work section. Again, you can put it wherever you want. If you're a piler like Scott, you can just put it in Quick Notes and search for it later. But I like to stay organized. Sorry. So got this, looking through. I actually got my pen, because I have a wonderful Surface device. And I'm going to go through, start looking at the slides. Oh, definitely want to make sure I hit on possible causes, so I can highlight and go through. Now you can see I love to use this to prep for meetings, but when the meeting is actually happening, I could also be going through, taking additional notes on the slide, and you can see how that'd be useful with any of the pens. So another thing I need to do to prep for this meeting is remember what happened last time we had this meeting. So I remember we were all using the whiteboard in the room. I took a picture of the whiteboard using Office Lens that's built into OneNote, but don't remember where I put it. So I'm going to search for campaign. Looks like maybe it'd be this one. And every time campaign is mentioned in this page, it's actually highlighted. So it went through, and it's reading the handwriting in the picture so that you can always find where your notes are. So this is kind of a new feature, and it's available on all platforms right now. So feeling pretty good about the meeting. It's time to actually start. Like many of you, when I take meeting notes, a lot of times it'll just be a couple sentences. Maybe I'm not diligent enough to write down the name of the meeting or who's there or any other context. And it makes it pretty hard to remember what was going on, find the notes later, etc. Well, with OneNote, you can actually insert meeting details really easily, and it allows you to capture the context of the meeting, as Scott mentioned earlier. So I'll go through here. All of my meetings will come up. And sure, this one's scheduled for today. But if I'm really diligent, I'm prepping for a meeting next month, I can actually go out. As long as it's in Outlook, you'll see it here. So let's go back. Look at this meeting that's happening today. And really easily, just with one click, it adds the title, it adds the meeting date, location. I can remember where it was. There's a link to the Outlook item, so it's really easy to get back to the meeting if you need to. You can look at the invitation message just to keep some context. And what I think I like the most about this is I can see all of the participants. Now, this is really helpful when you're in a meeting with folks you don't know as well, because it links their Outlook email to this. So you can see who they are, what team they're on, and how you need to address the situation. So we're in the meeting. I'll take a couple notes. Ben and Lee to follow up about Q4. It's generic enough. And I know, since I'm taking the meeting notes, that I'm going to want to send these out after. So I'll add a little checkbox there so that I know that I haven't done it. And typically, when you leave a meeting, it's a big rush, and maybe you're going to another thing. Sometimes can be a pain to take the meeting notes, clean them up, send them out later, figure out who was in the meeting, who you need to send them to. Maybe you didn't catch someone's name. You can really easily, with this, just click Email Meeting Notes, and everyone's email is already pre-populated. It comes up with a subject line. And what I like most about this, actually, is it's not even just the text of the meeting notes, because while that's helpful, things can change, right? You can go back in, someone made an update after, someone added a picture of the whiteboard after, and if you were to just send that out immediately, you wouldn't capture that. It would be stuck in Outlook. We give you the link so that everyone can see what those meeting notes are, and everyone can refer to that same place to keep everyone on that same page. So I can open Outlook in a new window. I can quickly send that off. And now I've done that. So these are just some of the new features that we've added to OneNote for Windows 10. You'll probably recognize a lot of these from OneNote 2016. And as Scott mentioned, we're really doing hard work to try to bring OneNote for Windows 10 up to those same high standards that you hold us to. And we love all these features that we've added, but we've actually gone and added a couple more features in OneNote for Windows 10 that aren't in OneNote 2016 that you may not recognize. So I'm going to show some videos of these. Pause this one. So a lot of these have to do with inking, and again, as a demoer, it's hard to write things down, so bear with me as I talk through the video. But we've really made a lot of investments in education. We see that this digital notebook type of structure is really, really powerful when you're a student and you're learning, because, as Scott said, you already have, your 3-ring binders, you have that mental model of organization, and now all of your class notes are in one place. So with that, we are really investing in our ink experience and other tools that will help you be more productive, whether you're a student learning these things for the first time, or you're helping your son or daughter understand how to do math, or you're catching up on it for yourself. So this student has already gone through, done this assignment, solved this equation, but they don't know whether it's correct or not. They're just learning this. They need to see, did I get it right? Am I actually learning this? So what we have here is our new math assistant. So I can go through, I can select my equation. OneNote will automatically recognize it for me. I can solve it. I can check my work. I can actually go through and see step by step how to do it. And if I made a mistake somewhere in there, I can follow the steps, which is really helpful, because when I put this together, I needed to remember what the quadratic formula was. And then I can graph both sides, so I can get a visual indication of whether my answer is correct. And maybe this is helping with some other graphing homework that I have too. So you can add that right to the page, go through, confirm y is 0, and as x equals 1 or 4. So I've got that math problem correct, and I can move on and focus on some of the other subjects that I might need a little bit more work in. So this is really, really helpful as a student. But what is it like from the teacher's side? Well, fear not, we've got some features for you as a teacher as well. So I'm in my student's notebook. I want to see how did they get to this answer, right? So what I can do is I can go through, I can actually replay all of the ink that they put on the page. I can do this with any type of page content. And what it will do is it will show, stroke by stroke, every single thing that the student has added, and I'm just going to speed this up here, so that I can go and understand how the student got there. This is pretty helpful if you're writing all over the page, too, to be able to see how they were thinking about it. And I can go in and see that, it's about to do it. They got it correct. I love my pen when I grade, and so I'm going to write great, but my handwriting is not too great. So what I can do is I can actually select that, and I can turn that into text. And if you'll notice, I wrote with a blue pen. It says great with a blue pen. We're actually bringing some improvements. You might see this rolling out soon to even honor your ink formatting even better when you convert it to text. So if I were to highlight it, for example, you would really get all of that goodness from all of our customizable pens brought into the text, because we know that's something that people really, really like to do. So these are just 2 features that we've added to our OneNote for Windows 10 app, but you can see that we're really committed to building this out and using some of the unique aspects of Windows 10 to make this the best way to use OneNote on a Windows 10 device. So that's all that I have for you. I think we're probably ready for some questions if folks have anything. I think there's mics here, and that would be best if folks could go to the mics. Oh, maybe.
Check. Oh,
Hey.
that works. All right. Is there a way within OneNote to templatize your pages? For example, when you're taking meeting notes, I like to take in particular format, action items, assign, and all that stuff.
Yeah, so currently there's not a way to templatize your notebook. That is something I will tell you that we're really looking into right now, especially because we know the value in helping people get started with OneNote. And so it's something we're looking into. Thanks.
Well, the math part, is it,
Yeah.
you have to complete the whole math problem, or you can do the first part and it'll solve
Just
it for
all you need is the equation. So even if you don't even know how to start, write down the equation in ink or with the equation editor and highlight that. OneNote will teach you all of the steps to solve it. Someone asked me the other day if I can do calculus, and I didn't know the answer, and it does do calculus for you. So.
And is this version out yet, or
Yeah.
it is out now?
This version right now is probably pre-installed on your Windows 10 device, so you can go use it right now. The ink features that I showed with math, you need an Office 365 subscription to use that, but you likely have that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is the ink, is the picture importing and text recognition, is that available for Android as well as iOS?
It is. That is something that's cross-platform right now. It usually takes probably 10 to 15 minutes to recognize it because it runs it through our service, but because it's service-backed, that means it's cross-platform. Yeah.
On the right.
I use a Mac. Sorry, don't string me up here. But
So do I.
I used to use Windows, and Windows S was a great way to get a quick snip into OneNote. Is there the equivalent on the Mac?
What I use on the Mac is the system shortcut, so Control Shift 4 or something like that. That's usually what I use. I copy it to the clipboard and go into OneNote.
Right.
We don't currently have a way to a shortcut that then pops the selection, the page or section selection dialog.
That would be nice to have.
Okay, that's a great feature. Thank you.
In the center.
I also use a Mac and iOS, so hello.
Hi.
Some bad news first. I thought, why don't I get started? So I downloaded the app, and it doesn't seem to let me create a notebook. Are you aware of that?
Let's chat after this.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, it's exciting. So what is there a place I can go to see? Like you mentioned, there's new features in the Windows 10 version. Well, I don't have Windows 10. Is there a reason that has to be different? Is there at least a list if I can see what is and is not available on the Mac side, on the iOS side, on Windows 7 versus Windows 10?
So there's no one place you can go to see a complete feature breakdown. We do have, I'd say the majority of the features are cross-platform now, but we don't have a specific breakdown of that for you. But I would say most of them are there, and if there's something there that you need that you don't see, user voice is the best place to go. But I'm happy to answer any specific questions too after this.
And the support articles online usually list out a lot of the features.
Is there going to be a way for us to eventually, over here?
Oh.
Is there going to be a way to share tabs instead of just notebooks or pages?
Do you want to talk about it? I can talk about it. So that is a request that we hear very, very, very frequently.
That's
also
one of the biggest frustrations.
from
is I don't
within
wanna
our
share.
own team as
Right.
well. That's something that it's not a good answer. It's an architectural issue. We don't have that on the roadmap yet, and so unfortunately, our recommendation usually is to create notebooks based on you know, the types of teams you have, whether you want it personal or shared with, you know, a few people or a broader group.
Yeah, and we do that. It's just that the tabs are so much more convenient to be able to share.
Yeah,
just the tab.
or like just a page or something like that.
Well, we can email the page, so that feature's there, but it's just that tab, being able to share a tab's really critical.
Yeah, yeah, we understand, and there are folks that are working on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I understand that you're trying to drive consistency across all the different versions, but so right now I have a Surface device, so I have OneNote 2016 and OneNote for Windows 10, and I prop them both open, and I obviously see some new look and feel stuff in the Windows 10 version versus the OneNote for 2016. OneNote for 2016, I can open up local OneNote files, but on the other one, I can't. I can only open up ones that are shared. So what's like the optimal path if I want all the cool stuff right now, but I kind of have that like hiccup? Are all those features coming to OneNote for 2016 very soon that are in OneNote for Windows 10?
They're not going to be coming to 2016 for the most part. OneNote for Windows 10 is our path forwards. As part of an integration into the operating system, we can just build faster and newer experiences that are just basically not possible to do in the older Perpetual or 365 versions of Win32. We hear the feedback on the local notebooks kind of consistently, but to get a lot of those benefits we were talking about of being backed by the services as well as available everywhere, we've started to default to only allowing cloud usage. And I know that can be kind of frustrating at first, certainly, and we acknowledge and hear that pain, but we've had positive feedback from a lot of users as they kind of get ready to make that move. They're very happy once they make that choice in the end, ultimately.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I just
Yeah.
got to figure out where to put it now because my company's not using OneDrive yet. They have it blocked. So I just have to randomly put it on the SharePoint site or, you know, on my personal OneDrive, which might not be the right thing.
Yeah,
So.
Right.
yeah, we hear that a lot too, and we are working to make it easier for folks. I would say probably coming soon. It might not solve your problem exactly, but for folks who have local notebooks who just need a way to easily move them to the cloud, we're hoping to release something that will help you out there.
In the center?
Yeah, what's the best way to handle due dates within a task? So you create the to-do and you just have the checkbox, but what if I want to say, you know, it's due in 3 weeks and be able to track to that? What's the best way to do that?
So I'd probably say with those, the checkboxes that I showed off today, those are basically just static. The box is unchecked, checked, or non-existent.
Right.
There is a concept of linking an Outlook task. That's only available in OneNote 26 or OneNote 2016 right now, and with those you can do due dates. I would say the path forward for OneNote will be some sort of integration with Microsoft To Do and the broader tasks at Microsoft, because we know that, you know, having a checkbox in OneNote and having a to-do in To Do and having a task in Outlook is, you know, you need to make these to-dos somewhere. Wherever you are is probably the best, but having them in 3 different places is not helpful for you, so I think you'll see some of that coming. Thank you.
So what I'm seeing is on the OS, on the Windows 10 OneNote app,
Yeah.
I log into my machine with my Microsoft account. I have an Office 365 subscription with work. So then if I'm working on the Windows 10 app, it sees me as one author, and if I'm using the perpetual OneNote, it sees me as another author. Is there a way I can combine that so it knows I'm the same person?
Yeah, so what you can do is you can actually log in with your business account to the OneNote for Windows 10. So you can, like right now, I have both my personal and my work accounts linked because sometimes I'm doing personal work and sometimes I'm doing work, and I want the correct work to be in the correct notebooks. And so you can link both of those accounts, and then your work account will always be used to edit your work notebooks, and your personal account will always be used to edit your personal notebooks, because your personal account should probably not have access to your work notebooks. Does that make sense? I can also show you afterwards if you stop by. Thank you.
So I have 2 questions. One that's maybe not specific just to OneNote, but you showed you know, providing meeting details and that link to the notebook. It's like 4 pages long. So are you guys looking at any URL shorteners? Because that seems to be the biggest problem is they get a 4-page link to this, and they missed one letter or something, and now they don't go to the right spot.
Yeah.
It's hard to favorite that or whatever.
Yeah, we haven't. I don't think there's anything in the roadmap right now for URL shorteners. That link itself, if you were to copy a link to a page and paste it somewhere that's HTML ready, and it could be the way this feature is designed, paste it in a different way, you should get the name of the page linked with parentheses web view also linked. And if you click the name of the page, it will try to open it first in the OneNote app. And if you click the web view, it'll open it in OneNote Online. So that is kind of like typically what we recommend.
Yeah, the links work. It's just
yeah,
it's this big,
of course.
Right? You know, it's,
yeah.
Here's the meeting, and then here's the link. So.
And it doesn't help that we put 2 links in there. One's the web link, one's the client link. So we have not explored that, but I think that's a really good idea.
And just one other quick, or maybe longer question. Am I hearing that the idea is to merge OneNote for Windows 10 and OneNote 2016? Because it is very confusing to users, right? You click the window button and you type in OneNote, and they're like, which one do I use?
Yeah, so I wouldn't quite use the word merge so much as our path forwards is Windows 10, is where we're going to keep on innovating, and we're trying to work through now how we handle side by side. So you can, of course, have both living together, but we want to make it easier for folks to be able to uninstall or remove, or as if you're on the IT side, actually deploy just the one that you want for your business available to you.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Woman on the left.
So I've had to talk short for this. So I've had some users that have really large OneNotes, like 5 gig in size, where corruption has occurred. Have y'all seen that, and do you have any plans to help mitigate that?
I will say that this kind of like support issue does come up sometimes, and usually we, like our sync and storage team directly will work with folks about that. I'd love to connect with you afterwards, but one broader thing for that is we are working to ramp up or to make better our help content, our self-help content, so that you don't need to get in touch with us directly to solve those problems. Unfortunately, we do see this kind of stuff, but I would love to chat with you after to help get that resolved.
So is there an optimal size for OneNote? When it gets to a certain size, you need to worry kind of like what PSTs used to be? Or
we don't have a recommendation per se about that, and I think it's a little bit less relevant now. One thing that used to be a big issue is that if you have this huge notebook and you open it on a mobile device, for example, it's syncing down the entire thing. That is going to take forever, that drains your battery, everything like that. So we've actually worked to revamp our sync engine. So what happens is when you have a lot of these documents, we don't just download all of those, we actually will download them when you actually navigate to them. And so if you don't need your entire team notebook, you just need like one section, we'll just pull that one section for you. And so we're kind of helping to make that a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the back in green.
So I apologize, I came in a little late, so I may have missed some of this. Working for a construction company, a lot of the features that are in the Windows 10 version of OneNote, being able to use the back of the camera on a surface to take a picture of things, to annotate, so on and so forth. I hear what you guys are saying about you want everybody to start using that. We've deployed OneNote, obviously the 2016 version, for a number of reasons, specifically with the integration for meetings and things of that nature. For the migration forward that you guys are talking about wanting everybody to start using the Windows 10 version, you guys really need to hear there's got to be a way to get that integration with O365's calendars, tasks. If you guys want us to use the Windows tasks, that means you need to replace the tasks in Outlook with O365's task. It's got to be integrated. It's got to be simple for the end user. They don't need to figure out which one to use. So, and then what's kind of the timeline for this sunsetting of OneNote 2016 or OneNote 2018? Is it version next, or is it version next 2?
Well, we're not sunsetting the product or anything like that, and definitely appreciate the feedback. User voice is a great way to also make sure we document that, and at the end I can also give you my card. We'd love to hear more lengthy feedback from you. Our timeline now has been announced of Office 2019 was announced this week. We're still kind of high level on the details, as you can kind of understand, but we're trying to move everyone towards vNext by that timeline of 19. But we're not sunsetting anything yet.
Great, thank you.
Is there any plans to integrate with the locked screen on devices to produce like a dedicated to-do list or task list that, you know, while you're on the go, you don't need to unlock
Yeah.
it?
So I'm not sure of the exact plans of the to-do team, but as Scott mentioned before, with a lot of the things that we're thinking about looking forward, the big theme is integrating with Windows, honestly, or integrating with Windows to make that a great platform and bringing other features to other platforms. So I think they're thinking about all sorts of different types of integration surfaces in Windows and what can we do that's unique to Windows that can bring the most value to end users. So I'm not exactly sure of that feature. I can connect you with our partners in Microsoft To Do, which are our partners, but I think you'll probably be seeing some more of that types of integrations.
Okay, thanks.
Of course.
Left.
Ooh.
Oh. I think we're getting the Emmy Award
I'll try.
music. So we'll hang out afterwards over here on the side and just take some questions over here in person. Thank you everyone for coming.
you.
Really appreciate it. If you get the chance, please review. Give us some feedback, it would be very helpful.
Link to multiple
Thank you.
IDs.